Welcome to another video yet again. Do have 3 different penny stocks in this video that do have a lot of potential. We have a $2 stock with a $4 billion merger coming at any time. Now they are actually about to merge with Triller, which is an app that has over 250 million downloads, is a direct competitor to TikTok. This is the biggest or one of the biggest mergers to happen in the entire stock market this entire year. So this is one that is actually preparing to have a ticker name change and actually about to finalize this. So this is one that is gaining a lot of momentum as they are getting very close to actually making this happen. So this is one to watch, guys. Smash that like button if you are enjoying this content. It really does help me out. I also have a $6 penny stock with an insider completely loading up. This is actually a majority shareholder that continues to load up pretty much every few days for the entire year. He's acquired or bought around $20 million worth of shares. So this is an investment group that actually manages around $1 billion in total assets, and they continue to load up on this $6 stock. Obviously they know something that we don't know, and they are very bullish, and this is something I've never really seen before, as they have basically loaded up every few days basically the entire year. So just a very interesting situation. I also have an undervalued biotech play that I'm actually holding myself with a catalyst expected to hit by the end of the month. So this is one that can still run, does have a lot of potential. Also have a $30 million profitable undervalued pizza buffet franchise business that actually reported historic financials just today, showing that they are growing very aggressively. And keep in mind, just last month, you can see right here, Pizza Inn and their new franchise partner team up to bring 7 new locations to Egypt. Now, this is very big because most of their locations are across the southern part of the United States, and they're going international. And this is a very big deal right here as they are expanding very aggressively. First off, we do want to talk about is ticker AGBA, which is Agba Group Holding, which does have that $4 billion powerhouse merger that is about to finalize. It does look like just a week ago, AGBA Group announces results of extraordinary general meeting of shareholders. They say AGBA's merger with Triller Corporation is on track to close. They're actually doing a lot of things to get ready to finalize this merger. We're going to briefly talk about it. So it says right here, all AGBA Triller merger closing conditions have been met with the exception of the final NASDAQ listing regulatory approval, which is the last thing they need to complete this merger, and this is anticipated to basically be approved very soon. The current AGBA shareholders will own 20% of the final company after the merger is complete. Now, why is this so important? Because this merger is valued at $4 billion. I just said AGBA shareholders will own 20% of that $4 billion company. So 20% of $4 billion is $800 million. So an $800 million valuation is the company, the valuation of the company you will be holding, when the current valuation is sitting at a $200 million market cap or just under that. So you're basically getting a 4x discount. Now, what it really comes down to is if this $4 billion valuation is actually true. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Is this actually worth $4 billion? If it is, you are getting an extreme discount. So that's something to realize. Now, we are going to have a new ticker name change once this actually goes through. So it says right here, Triller Group Inc. and the newly combined companies will operate under the Triller Company name and expect to be traded on the NASDAQ under the ticker ILLR. So that's a very big update that just came out recently, along with, they're basically going to have to do a forward stock split and then another reverse stock split after that. But this, isn't really that negative. They're just doing this to comply with the terms, all the terms of this merger. So that's something to realize. They still need NASDAQ approval. That's the last thing they need. And they are expecting this merger to finalize very soon. So we're expecting some updates at any time now, as they are getting to the final stages. Have been trying to do this for a very long time now. Triller right now is a social media platform just like TikTok, and AGBA is building a new foundation and a 5th pillar for Triller. So they have the Triller app, which obviously we already know what that is. They also have Triller One, which is cutting edge AI and SaaS solutions. They also have Triller TV, which is long form live events and sports live streaming. And then also have the BKFC, which is a premier combat sports organization. Looks like it could be a rival to the UFC and much more. And then we have the fifth pillar, which is what AGBA is combining with Triller and adding to their network as well, as which is a fintech and health tech powerhouse. It looks like so transaction represents a unique marriage between social media content and fintech plus health tech. So a very big merger, which is apparently valued at $4 billion. We are expecting some more updates with this as we are at the very last stages of this getting finalized with ticker AGBA. Is starting to gain some momentum, so keep it on your watch list. Next play we're going to talk about is ticker TTSH, Tile Shop Holdings Inc., which does have a $291 million market cap, only 44 million outstanding shares, and looking at their financials, do have massive revenue coming in. You can see in 2024, for the second quarter, they did $91 million in revenue and actually had $1.2 million in net income. Did similar amounts of revenue for the previous quarter, for the first quarter of 2024, and profited just under $2 million. So a massive amount of revenue. Our profitable business that did just under $400 million in revenue for 2023 and actually had $10 million in net income. Keep in mind, you always add 3 zeros to these numbers. So something very big is the insider transactions going on. You see all these Form 4s are the same investment group, a 10% or a majority shareholder that continues to load up shares pretty much every few days. It does look like for this entire year. Just look at all these Form 4s. We have Fund 1 Investment Group, an institution which now owns around 20% of the entire company. So we do have, we have BlackRock and Vanguard down here as well. This hedge fund has basically bought around 20 million shares, or $20 million worth of shares, in the last year, or just around that number. They've been completely bullish on this company, so obviously they know something that we don't know. So this is a tile company, obviously ticker TTSH, the Tile Shop Holdings Inc. Now, as rate cuts are happening, is this a booming industry, or is this industry really about to take off, as a lot of people do remodel houses and start buying more houses, and more houses do go on the market? So that is something to realize. As rate cuts come down, mortgage rates are becoming more affordable. So is this industry really about to start picking up? But either way, obviously this insider is completely bullish. So something is brewing, something very big is brewing, it does look like, with ticker TTSH. Now, looking at their balance sheet, they do have $25 million cash on hand, but something else to realize, they've had no dilution in the last few years. Actually, the outstanding share count has went down, currently sitting at 44 million shares, or just around that level. But looking at their balance sheet, they do have $322 million in total assets, which is more than their entire market cap. Under $400 million in revenue for 2023. Are a profitable business. Now, one concern, they do have $322 million in total assets, but they do have $200 million in total liabilities, which is one concern. Now, a lot of this is not long-term debt, so that is a plus, but currently trading at $6.50. And something else to realize is this institutional buyer continues to load up, even as we are reaching all-time highs compared to just around late 2022. Ticker TTSH is definitely one to watch with everything going on, as their revenue numbers are looking good as well. Next play we have is RAVE, ticker RAVE, RAVE Restaurants Group Inc., trading at $2.10. Actually spiked up 20% today. Another play with no dilution. The outstanding share count has actually went down from 18 million shares all the way down to 14 million shares just in the last few years. So no dilution, a very small $30 million market cap. And looking at their financials that just came out, you can see did $3.3 million in total income, or revenue, with $880,000 in net income. So very nice profit margins, have been profitable the last 4 quarters. Revenue has continued to go up, at least for the last 3 quarters, as well as their profitability. So not only has their revenue aggressively been in an uptrend, you can see basically every quarter has continued to go up to all-time highs, at least as of lately. Their profit margins and their profitability for the last 4 quarters have basically been doubling every single quarter, expanding and getting better each quarter. So that's something really good. That's why this one is up 20%, but a $30 million company that's profitable, that has $15 million in total assets, very minimal liabilities, looks like no long-term debt, no debt. and basically $2.8 million cash on hand. So that's something positive. Ticker RAVE, a $30 million profitable company with no debt, is having record financials. Most of their revenue does come from Pizza Inn, which is a franchise business. You can see, looking at their locations, most of their locations are throughout the southern part of the United States. Do have a massive amount of restaurants. They are franchised, a lot of them. Something else that really caught my attention, as they have record financial, just 1 month ago, Pizza Inn and new franchise partner team up to bring 7 new locations to Egypt. So they're going international. So this restaurant is scheduled to open during the fourth quarter of 2024 as part of a 7-store agreement. So following the first opening, this partnership, they plan to debut 2 additional locations each year for the next 3 years in cities across Egypt. So that's very big. They do say they are expanding their locations in the US, or plan to, over the next few quarters or over the next few years as well. So they are expanding rapidly as their financials are hitting record all-time highs, as well as their very impressive profit margin. So that's what I really like to see with their business. With a $30 million market cap, did just spike up 20%. So RAVE is one to watch. ORMP, which is one I am holding myself, or Med Pharmaceuticals, which already is the most undervalued biotech play in the market. You know, based on their fundamentals, a $97 million market cap, 40 million outstanding shares, no dilution in a very long time. So looking at their financials and their balance sheet, you can see a $90 million market cap and basically have $84 million cash on hand, $184 million in total assets, with only $7 million in total liabilities. So the best balance sheet you're going to see for a biotech play company, probably the best balance sheet you'll ever see in general for a $90 million market cap, are actually profitable because they do have a note deal where they do get income from this note, this senior secure note with SkillX Holding, and that's the PR. They are expecting a $20 million payment very soon. So we're going to see what just happened with this filing. So it looks like they're extending this deadline from September 19th until the maturity date to extend the due date of the $20 million payment from September 23rd to September 30th, 2024. So it looks like they're extending this to September 30th, giving them an extra week. So we are expecting that $20 million payment to be received by the end of the month, by September 30th. So tomorrow, or basically at any time now. So still are owed around $60 million plus from this total note deal. So still have been profitable because purely of this SkillX Holding note, like I said. So ticker ORMP does have a catalyst that could be coming out by September 30th. You know, not saying it will, but it is expected. They just said in that filing that they are extending that deadline for that $20 million payment. So ORMP could have that very big catalyst very soon. That's all I have for today's video. Let me know in the comments what other plays you're watching, and I will see you on the next video.